Raise your hand if you've ever been to a concert before. Keep your hand up if you've ever been to a concert before March of 2023. Keep your hand up if you went to a concert after March of 2023. So for the people that still have their hand raised, I just have one question for you. Do concerts feel different now? I feel like there are two main things in recent years that have really changed the way that we interact at concerts. And those two things are COVID and the Eras Tour, which I know are two things that you wouldn't normally think of together, but both of them had a pretty big impact on concerts today, and that's something that I really want to talk about in this video. I feel like these two things are pretty large phenomena that reshape concert culture and how we know it today, from global shutdowns to record-breaking tours. The live music scene is just evolved, and today I really want to explore how these events have influenced the way that we experience shows today. I want to take a closer look at how both of these forces have changed our expectations, our experiences, and probably the future of live entertainment. Before we get into all that though, let me introduce myself first. Hi, welcome to my channel where I talk about music and music related things that I find interesting. I talk about artists, albums, observations, and events that I find happening in the music world. So if that's something that you guys seem to find interesting, you're welcome to like, subscribe, and stick around for a little while. Okay, now let's move on with the video. So I want to start off by looking at COVID and its effects on the live music industry. If you don't know, or say forgot what COVID is, the COVID-19 pandemic happened in 2019, with lockdowns happening as early as November of 2019. And when this pandemic hit, live events were among the first things to be shut down. It was also among the last to recover. Concert venues, along with the rest of the world, were forced to close down, and artists postponed or canceled their tours, fans having to navigate a world without their live performances. This affected every single artist that was doing shows at the time, which included Taylor Swift, as the Loverfest tour was scheduled in 2020 and had to be canceled. But what exactly did this mean for concert culture in general? In a matter of weeks, music festivals, theater performances, and stadium tours were either postponed or entirely wiped off calendars. In fact, the entire concert industry had come to a complete halt at the time. Artists who typically performed hundreds of shows a year were forced to explore new ways to stay connected with their audiences. Social media and streaming became the main platforms, with some tuning into live streams to replicate live performances. Platforms like Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and even Roblox became new concert halls. Billie Eilish, for example, was among the first artists to experiment with these live stream concerts, offering intimate performances from her home during the initial lockdown phase. Taylor, too, took a part in these virtual performances. Her Folklore album releasing, though not a full-fledged tour, was accompanied by live stream performances and deep engagement with her fans. While these virtual performances were definitely creative, they couldn't really replicate that in-person experience that the pandemic revealed how much live music really meant to fans. You know, the energy, the connection, and the crowd. They all shared an experience of singing your favorite songs together, and these aspects of a live show were just deeply missed. But at the same time, it wasn't just fans that were impacted. It was artists too who were left searching for new ways to stay relevant while venues remained closed. For a time, it seemed like the future of live music was in flux, but what emerged from this period of uncertainty was a renewed appreciation for live music. Fans and artists alike both realized just how valuable these experiences were, and in a post-pandemic world where concerts started up again, it wasn't just about the performance anymore. It was about a shared experience of coming together after a time of isolation. By the time that vaccines were rolled out and restrictions were eased, concertgoers flooded back into the venues and tours started to ramp up again, but with new rules in place. We saw longer lines, stricter security, and of course, masks were becoming a new fixture of concert experiences. But the return of live music was a triumph for sure. Now, of course, this isn't a video just about COVID, so what exactly was Taylor doing during all this time? Between what was meant to be Loverfest and the Eras Tour, Taylor had released 3 new albums, Folklore, Evermore, and Midnights, and she had re-released 2 of her albums, Fearless and Red, under Taylor's version. Now, with 5 new albums under her belt, she couldn't really tour for one album specifically, so she had created the Eras Tour to showcase all of her albums as a new experience for her fans. When she had first announced the Eras Tour, it had 152 dates, beginning in Glendale, Arizona on March 17th and meant to end in London on August 17th, 2024. The new dates were added and the tour officially came to an end in Vancouver on December 8th, 2024, just last week. This was a tour that had generated millions of dollars for her and captured the attention of millions of more people. It truly redefined what a tour could be and brought concert culture into a new era. Now, if you you haven't exactly been paying attention to the Eras Tour, I wouldn't blame you, but it's really not just another concert, it's an event. And it's not just due to Taylor's popularity, because for concerts as a whole, it really marks a new chapter at how artists can approach touring. You know, the pandemic may have shifted how we view the music industry, but the Eras Tour really took it to a whole new level. For a tour that's been going on for over a year and a half now, with over 150 dates, it really is a global and cultural phenomenon. It's not just about the music, it's really a spectacle. It's a connection with the fans, and they use social media to create an even deeper experience. The Eras Tour isn't really just a string of concerts, it's a celebration of her career, and a setlist that spans her entire catalog allows fans to relive every era of her music. Now, when I say that the Eras Tour has really shifted the way that we look at live performances, I definitely mean it. The other day I saw a TikTok, and I'll put it up on screen if I find it again, but it was basically about this person talking about how they drove 12 hours just to see Billie Eilish, and the show was only over in an hour and a half. And I looked at the TikTok and I was like, is that not normal? Like, of course driving 12 hours for a show isn't exactly normal per se if you don't live in like a rather big city or close to a big city, but concerts only being an hour and a half, like, yeah, you know. But then I thought about it again. Post-COVID was when a lot of newer people started coming to concerts. Because a lot of people during COVID, they were preteens or teenagers, and of course they were fans of artists, but they hadn't really seen a lot of artists. And it was only really after COVID that these people had started going to concerts more. And with this new wave of fans comes a new sort of concert culture. The Eras Tour on top of this bringing a lot of younger fans or a lot of newer fans to these stadiums, where the culture isn't exactly the same as, say, a 200 cap venue or a hardcore show. But to these fans, it's more than just nostalgia. The Eras Tour also reshaped the market of live performances, as Taylor's ability to promote her tour via platforms such as TikTok was nothing short of revolutionary. Apps like Twitter and TikTok have become a massive tool for fans to both share their excitement and find new people in their area that have similar interests, making it a crucial part of the Eras experience. The tour didn't just go viral, it was almost like a trend, with her TikTok engagement reaching staggering heights. Since the tour had begun, Eras content had averaged at 380 million views per day on TikTok. Fans flooded social media platforms, sharing their concert experiences, analyzing set lists, and creating communities around the live shows. Because the fans aren't just viewers, they're marketers. Through TikTok, Swifties have helped drive the success of the Eras Tour, creating sort of a self-perpetuating loop of excitement and engagement. And not only has Taylor utilized the social media to amplify her tour success, she's also taken advantage of these virtual tools that were used during the pandemic. The tour dog, Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, was set to break box office records. It was expected to gross between 100 million and 125 million domestically. And the rise of concert films was also another major trend that emerged during the pandemic. Artists no longer had to rely solely on touring for revenue, but they could also capitalize on the ability to reach global audiences with these films. But of course, it's not only about the numbers. The Eras Tour was redefining at what it meant to attend a concert. Gone were the days of static traditional concert experiences. Now, fans were not only just watching the performance, they were part of a broader narrative, where their engagement on social media led to viral challenges shaping the event just as much as the artists on stage did. So now that we've looked at both COVID and the Eras Tour, I know that you're asking, headphone emoji, what does this mean for our future? What is this for the future of live music? Are we ever going to be able to have a normal concert experience ever again? The answer is both yes and no. While the pandemic fundamentally changed the way that we approach concerts, and the Eras Tour helped push the envelope of responsibilities of what a live concert could be, and new technology, social media dominance, and the return of live shows in general, live music experiences are evolving every day in new and exciting ways. We've seen a lot of other artists take inspiration from Taylor, whether it's adding surprise songs to their set list or doing Eras Tours of their own. One of the major shifts that we can see from blending both the virtual and live experiences is that artists will continue to use platforms like TikTok to generate excitement for their shows. But more importantly, it's the idea of these hybrid concerts where someone walks onto stage and it's more of an experience than just a show, complemented by live streams streams or interactive online experiences, it's definitely a lot more common, with more artists adding stunning visuals or even fan interactive concepts in their shows, with Sabrina Carpenter in her handcuffs or even Five Sauce in their red dyes. The Eras Tour proved that fans are eager to share this experience with anyone, whether it's just the stadium or watching it from home. It's the value of these streaming concert footage and behind the scenes content and fan interaction that's only going to continue to grow. And the Eras Tour showed us that fan engagement is more important than ever, honestly. Concert goers are no longer passive, they're active participants in the show, and they amplified the artist's success through their social media platforms. Whether it's through viral trends or live reactions, fans are always shaping the narrative of the event just as much as artists do. So what exactly does all that mean? Well, as the music industry itself continues to grow, we can expect to see more immersive experiences and larger-than-life productions, and definitely a lot more opportunities for fans to engage with artists in real time. Concerts continue to be an extremely important part to our culture, but they will be redefined by the influence of technology and social media that we see today. The world of live music has definitely been changed forever. From the devastation of COVID to the cultural revolution of the Eras Tour, we've seen how live concerts have adapted, evolved, and flourished in the face of unprecedented challenges. Whether it's through these virtual experiences or the viral power of this social media that we witness, it's the new age of concert culture. We have to admit that we are in a new age of concert culture where fans are more engaged and more influential than ever before. And as we move forward, we see that these continue to shape how we experience live music today and perhaps even the artists themselves. And that's really all I have to say about the effects of Eras Tour that we have on us today. I know that this was a little bit of a shorter video, but it's final season, so bear with me. I just wanted to put something out this week for you guys to smile about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for any other videos, anything you guys are into lately that you want me to talk about or that you just want to talk about in the comments. Go ahead. That's really all I have to say. Bye!